虽然说这软体也要加部分，对。
This way.
This late?
The guide will give you opportunities to practice your magic and educate yourself about wizarding lore.
又很酷了。
Potato. I certainly would have appreciated something like the field guide when I was a student.
哦，对，不过日本的东西的保存期限都比台湾还久哎，保存期。台湾大部分都6个
Why
月，
don't you
妈的，日本
cast
可以干到3
Revelio
年。
on this
大小
bust and see what details the field guide can provide?
Revelio.
我现在只看到哆啦 A 梦，没有看到很酷的东西。还是你说很酷的东西就是哆啦 A 梦？
好吧，那我没说。
可恶，没有很酷的东西。
我刚看到这个头像，让我想到某个片片哦。然后我这样去看了一下，是不是同志？结果不是。
偷看片片。
然后就有一些人，有一些同人作者，他们在网络上，就是我们不是不能萝莉色吗之类的。然后就有一些人在乱搞。
你说萝莉色色怎么样？
他就是做萝莉色色的影片。
那很赞了。
没错。然后他很靠北是他，你知道说什么吗？他说，影片的所有人都满18岁。
没有办法啊，那法规啊。
对，只要讲了就是18岁。
对啊，只要讲就18岁啊。没有啊，你要尊重。他只长得比较小，他成人了，你要尊重他。他外表看起来只有3岁而已啊。
对，这个是18岁是吧？
反正现在没有啊，如果你要上欧美平台都得这样做啊。你上 Steam 也是啊，你只要看起来未成年角色，你就要说18岁，然后就过审了，对，然后就过审了。
Clever, isn't it? Keep your eyes open for more opportunities like that, inside and outside of the castle.
听懂好像可丽，那什么
可丽饼，
可丽，某一个女生，
利可利斯啊，
对啊，她长得就好像很甜的一个
配色而已啊，
黑色，好像黑长，没办法，她长得像就是黑长子。该睡了。
该去看猫了。好大声！
穿过去了。
你开视窗，他们当然有。
有没有吓到你？
我耳朵直接炸掉我开很大
有没有吓到？
吓到，白痴！我刚他妈都应该烟头干，超可怕的。
我要睡了。
好，晚安。
Ah, good timing.
屁眼晚
Perfect
安。
opportunity to show you how to use flue flames
晚安
to get
屁眼。
around a bit quicker. Your field guide contains a map of the castle. Open it up and find Central Hall. And here we are. Quite the time saver. These stairs lead directly to Central Hall.
I can never get enough.
You can get almost anywhere in the castle quickly from Central Hall. Always something happening here. It's the heart of the hive. Our King's Cross station, so to speak.
I used to write to my parents every...
That should be all for now. You'll be expected to attend both Charms and Defense Against the Dark Arts classes today. And I'd like to be sure you get to Hogsmeade as soon as possible to replace the supplies you lost on the way here.
What will I learn in Charms class?
Exactly what you might expect. Spells, charms, jinxes, all terribly useful. I think you will enjoy Professor Ronan. He's a clever and entertaining wizard, and a talented teacher.
Can you tell me more about the Defense Against the Dark Arts class?
Defense Against the Dark Arts, as the name implies, focuses on how to defend oneself against the evils that lurk beyond these walls. A mastery of Defense Against the Dark Arts is required for those who aspire to become Aurors. Fortunately, we are lucky to have the ever-gifted Professor Hecat in charge of our students' education in that regard.
You mentioned Hogsmeade, Professor.
Hogsmeade is the only all-wizarding village in Britain and is home to an array of shops and pubs. You should be able to find all of the school supplies you require in Hogsmeade. You will also, I imagine, enjoy many a butterbeer there with friends in due course.
Thank you, Professor Weasley.
A lot to absorb on your first day, and you have much to learn. Happily, your professors have agreed to create additional assignments for you outside of class. You'll be up to speed in no time. Judging by your adept use of Revelio earlier, I'd say Professor Fig succeeded in at least showing you the basics.
He did, Professor.
He's been terribly vague as to the events preceding your arrival, specifically about what happened after that awful dragon attack. My suspicion is that there's more to the story than a search for belongings and an extended trip up to the castle.
We did take a bit of a detour on the way here. Ended up exploring some ruins and... I shouldn't say more.
Exploring ruins? Well, I presume Professor Fig has his reasons for keeping the details to himself for now. Speak of the devil, Professor Fig. Your ears must have been burning.
Oh?
Yes. You seem to have provided our new fifth year with a solid foundation in the basics of spellcasting.
Ah, I'm afraid I can't take all the credit there, Professor. They've a rare aptitude for magic, it seems.
Well, I'm just glad you both arrived in one piece. Perfectly good boats and carriages to Hogwarts, and you chose to fly in the path of a dragon.
I wouldn't say I chose the dragon's path, Professor. Rather unfortunately, it would seem that it chose us.
Very well. Enough chit-chat. I need to get to class myself. Might I rely on you, Professor Fig, to explain the details of the field guide's map?
Of course.
Thank you. Good luck today. And remember to use your field guide. It will be invaluable to you. And invaluable to me, as I'll be using it to keep up to date on your progress.
Yes, Professor.
Come and find me in my classroom after you've attended both classes today, and I'll explain more about those assignments I mentioned. And we'll see if we can't get you to Hogsmeade for those supplies.
It's good to see you, Professor.
And you. I was hoping our paths would cross today, before you immersed yourself in studies. Did I hear you and Professor Weasley talking about exploring ruins?
Yes, sir. But I didn't tell her anything else about our travels here. I will say, I think she suspects we're not being entirely forthcoming.
Yes, well, Professor Weasley is a brilliant and astute witch. It was right to keep the details to yourself for now. We don't know where this path we've embarked upon will lead. It may require a bit more flexibility with your time than she would approve of. And she may feel obliged to share details with the headmaster that would be better left between us.
Understood, Professor.
Good. Now, as capable as you are, I believe the ability you possess obliges you to be well trained. Happily, you have the benefit of an exceptionally skilled team of witches and wizards to guide you. Speaking of guides, and so that I may avoid another not-so-subtle reproof from Professor Weasley, why don't I show you the clever enchantment we included in the field guide's map? Unfold it and have a look. The map is enchanted to help you find your way.
This will be incredibly helpful. Thank you.
Now, sounds like you've quite a day ahead, what with classes and a trip to Hogsmeade for supplies, including your own wand. You'll enjoy Mr. Ollivander. He's an exceptional craftsman and a good friend. I shall reach out when I have more information about our mysterious locket. For now, focus on your classes and pay attention. More than your owls may hinge on the magic you are able to master within these walls.
Just so I hadn't ceased to visit Ollivanders again. I could open one boxes all day.
I adore the hamlets near the coast. They're a bit damp, but ever so picturesque.
Beatrice Green from Dogmeat and Deadcat is an odd bull. Caught her talking to her plants, having a full conversation, she was. Quite interesting.
It's a good thing, yeah.
I adore getting out back home. My father said if you want to.
Look at me!
Courtyard than the musty old library any day.
You can always tell the first year Hufflepuff. Reek of vinegar.
I bet garlic has some.
I rather enjoyed one.
Is that all you've got?
Levioso!
Professor Hackett!
Perhaps you'd be good enough to blast each other to pieces in your own time. I get new students every year, but I only have one Hebridean black skull. It was a token from the Great Poacher Raid of 1878. No doubt you've heard of it. Now, you may be asking yourself how an old woman like me single-handedly took out the largest poacher ring in eastern Wales and lived to boast about it. Knowledge. To the wise, age matters very little. Today we will review a spell that has saved me from death at the hands of dark wizards more times than I care to remember. Levioso.
Levioso? A levitation charm?
Levioso! A surprised opponent is a weak opponent. Care to defend yourself, Master Pruitt? No? One thing I've learned as an unspeakable is the value of simplicity, especially in the heat of battle. Now, let's practice what we've just learned, starting with something small.
Levioso!
Now, let's try something a little larger. Let us begin with the basic cast. See how the dummy deflected your cast? This time, cast Levioso first, then the basic cast. Remember, a surprised opponent is a weak opponent, as Master Pruitt so artfully helped me demonstrate earlier. Good. Now, the basic cast.
Very good. But the best way to practice is by dueling. We'll start with you two. Duelists, take your marks.
Time for a proper Hogwarts welcome.
Now, I want a fair duel, using only Levioso, basic cast, and Protego. You may begin.
This should be easy.
Levioso!
What are you doing up there? Protego. Complicates things.
You good.
Now perspective. Thank you.
Rather good at this, aren't you?
I know.
Remember the lesson. Levioso is quite effective in concert with other spells.
Levioso.
That had to hurt. Good form.
I know.
This can't be your first duel.
Let's just say I'm a quick learner.
This should be easy.
Levioso.
This can't be your first duel.
I'm doing joy and lively duel.
How's the view?
You're good.
How perceptive.
Only all my students for this adept. Use the basic cast when your opponent's guard is down.
Not bad for a beginner. You give as good as you get.
I put you on the spot, and you rose to the challenge. Points to Ravenclaw.
Thank you, Professor Hecat. Glad to have the opportunity to practice.
If what I've seen today is any indication, we can expect great things from you. I demand excellence from my students. They are capable of achieving it, and they must achieve it. A classroom duel is one thing, but battling dark wizards, or as ever more likely, goblins, is a different kettle of Grindylows entirely.
Understood, Professor.
So, I'd advise you to keep practicing whenever you can. Perhaps Mr. Sallow will have some ideas for you. Again, well done today. I shall reach out soon with additional assignments. All right, that's enough spectacle for one day. Class is dismissed.
Nice work.
I enjoyed that.
Well, that duel was quite something. Everyone will be talking about it.
It was certainly good practice.
Practice? It felt more like I was dueling an expert. Sebastian Sallow, by the way. Didn't expect a new student to be so deft with a wand. Then again, perhaps this wasn't your first duel.
In fact, it was. Perhaps I have a knack for it.
Be coy if you like, but I know better. Magic requires intention and talent. You know, you might be a perfect fit for a certain exclusive, unsanctioned dueling organization.
Exclusive and unsanctioned. Count me in.
Excellent. Knew I was right about you. If you want to get the most out of your time at Hogwarts, you're going to need to break the rules now and then. Whether it's joining a secret dueling club, or sneaking into the restricted section of the library, you just have to be clever enough not to get caught.
Thank you, Sebastian. I'll keep that in mind.
Good. Pleasure chatting with you. I'm sure I'll see you soon. Perhaps somewhere unsanctioned? We'll see if your performance today was sheer luck or actual skill. Look for Luke and Brattleby near the clock tower entrance. If you're interested. Till next time.
You drilled Sebastian. He's strong competition. Well done.
Oh, I'm not much for dueling. I prefer to keep things friendly. If you know the right spells, it's dark wizards that'll fear you, not the other way around.
Not the best idea.
Leviosa! Lumos. Leviosa. Lumos. Leviosa.
Off on another adventure, are we? Handy resource indeed, your field guide. I'm most pleased to be included.
Lumos. Revelio. Revelio. Levioso.
Revelio. You can't imagine how inconvenient. Revelio.
Awful when they ask
Revelio.
me questions now, isn't it? Clumsy little faces. I'll just lie.
wait till all my sisters are at Hogwarts with me. Their turn to send the owl.
It would be far more enjoyable if the prefect stayed in.
I know what you mean. Ravencrow's in my Grindylow in my bed.
This cannot possibly be as difficult as it seems.
I tried a knee